Hey guys, welcome back. So, Michael Burry is best known by the Hollywood film The Big Short, which starred Brad Pitt and Christian Bale. The film was all about the 2008 financial crisis, which at the time went on to a recession that was the most severe since the Great Depression. If you don't know too much about what happened in 2008, then here it is in a nutshell. At the time, banks were making lots of money selling mortgages. However, over time, banks got a little bit greedy and they began lending to more and more people with lower and lower credit scores. This is also known as subprime. And if that wasn't bad enough, they then did something really naughty. They took these mortgages, they packaged them together and created a derivative product called mortgage-backed securities. They then reclassified these securities as AAA rated, meaning they were the lowest risk, some of the greatest things you could buy, and they sold them on. This obviously was a time bomb waiting to go off. The reason is because when these initial mortgage rates expired, they then went on to a standard variable rate, which is a lot higher. People's monthly payment all of a sudden went up, they could no longer afford the mortgage. This caused an avalanche of defaults and the whole thing came tumbling down like a house of cards. So, where does Michael Burry fit into all this? Well, Hollywood made the film The Big Short because Michael Burry had looked into these accounts and he figured out all of this was going to happen. He could see that the whole housing market was going to implode and he did The Big Short. Shorting is basically the opposite of normal investing where you're betting that the market is going to be going down. So, did this work? Well, this trade made him over $100 million and over $750 million for his investors. And this brings us nicely on to today. So, would you like to know which stocks Michael Burry is investing in right now? Well, this is the topic of this video. In this video, we're going to be looking at his hedge fund, Scion Asset Management. I always think it's a really good idea to take a look at these expert investor portfolios and see what they're doing with their own money. Ultimately, it makes us all better investors. As always, if you do find anything useful in the video, be sure to drop a like. That would be much appreciated, as every like does help. Okay, sit back and relax guys. Here is the investment portfolio of The Big Short's Michael Burry. Here is what we've got coming up. We're first going to take a snapshot look at who is Dr. Michael J. Burry. I'll then show you a clip of the Hollywood film The Big Short. This was the film that made him famous. We'll then take a look at the Michael Burry portfolio and you can see what he's investing in today. And then we'll finish up with a bit of a summary and see if we can pull together some key actionable insights. First up, who is Dr. Michael J. Burry? Well, he was born in June 1971, so at the time of recording this makes him 49 years old. His net worth is estimated to be around about the $200 to $300 million mark, so he's obviously doing pretty good. He was a physician initially before turning investor and starting his own hedge fund. He was working in neurology before starting his hedge fund, Scion Asset Management. And he's well known for being a shorting expert. This is when you're betting the market will go down. So here's a quick clip of the film that made him famous, The Big Short. Time to take a look at the Michael Burry portfolio. And here it is in all its glory, Scion Asset Management. So what can we say? So this is a 300 million plus portfolio and it's made up of 32 different positions. As you can see, we've got some of the more major positions here before going into the more minor positions. Now the great thing is this is quite a manageable portfolio. I did the portfolio of Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary last week and that one looked like this, which was a bit of a nightmare to try and analyze as there was so many different positions. So it's so nice to come back and see a manageable portfolio. Now, one of the things that really stood out to me is that it's got a very diverse range of companies. So you noticed all the big major companies like Google, Facebook, JP Morgan, Bank of America, but it's also got a lot of smaller companies. We see the Discovery Channel, Las Vegas Sands, Foot Locker. So there's a very interesting selection of companies. Now feel free to do your analysis of this page, but I'm a big fan of the Pareto principle, so I'm going to try and 80-20 this, and we'll strip out all the minor positions and just take a look at the major positions. So this might be a bit more actionable for most people. So his top core positions are these, and it's 18% is in Google, such a strong, great company that's pioneering the way in many different industries. We have 11% in CVS Health. Now, I don't know too much about that company, but maybe worth looking into. Obviously, everyone knows 8% in Facebook, 6% in Western Digital, 5% in GameStop. Now, I remember seeing some headlines on GameStop, so I went to check it out. And when I went to check it out, this is what I found for GameStop stock. This is the 1-year chart, and you can see, look at what has just happened. So in the last year, it's gone up 740%. And this is why Michael Burry is clearly an expert, being able to read things like this beforehand. So that was GameStop. Obviously, with what's going on with the pandemic, he liked the look of Pfizer. Then a solid company, 4% Goldman Sachs. The Discovery Channel was interesting. I'm a big fan of the Discovery Channel. Then we have 3% in Unity, which is a REIT, a real estate investment trust, and 3% in Allstate, which is, I believe, is insurance. And then the rest, 35%, is what made up the portfolio. So again, it was a $300 million portfolio, making up 32 positions. So a very diversified range of stocks, and some that may be worth looking into. So there you are, guys. That was the investment portfolio of the Big Short's Michael Burry. Definitely some interesting choices in there that you don't find in many portfolios. I personally love analyzing the world's top investor portfolios, as the more portfolios that you look at, the easier it becomes to know what to do with your own money. Michael Burry is well known for being an expert in shorting. He made some great money shorting the tech bubble. Obviously, he made some great money in 2008 shorting the housing market. And interestingly, recently, he has announced on Twitter that he is now shorting Tesla. Stay tuned, as this will be the topic of my next video. Okay, just one favor to ask. If you did find anything useful in the video, then be sure to drop a like. That would be much appreciated. If you haven't yet subscribed, then be sure to click below and join us. I do have some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. Okay, cheers guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.